Hi, everybody. I've never done a show by myself, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and all right. Oh, and okay.
Two adults, Chris and Daryl, yeah, they run shit. Current world events and forever on some dumb shit. Fun lit with a Bush Light, especially. Even though they always getting banned, allegedly. Crack a bourbon, peep the sermon, it's just two dolts. And you know they hold it down like it's two ropes. So crack a bourbon, peep the sermon, it's just two dolts. Taking over in the game, bringing new hope.
Yeah, I might do this for like about 5 minutes. I don't know. I found some things on the internet that were kind of funny. Like number one, the guy that had the longest nose of all time. This guy, come on, sign in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. I have a text. Okay. Mm, You got two-factor things now. Because, yes, okay. Trust the device. Jesus fucking Christ on a cross. All right. So this guy had a fucking nose on him. This is a guy that had Thomas Wadhouse. Look at his nose. I personally think that this guy is the king of 69. Like, in clit, and then he's got this chin too. Jesus Christ. A lot of people always say, like, oh, well, big feet, big nose. I think it started with that guy. This guy has a fucking hammer. At a certain point, though, there's got to be some shit to cut off, you know? His dick, his nose looks like an actual dick. And also, like, why have that nose that looks like a dick and also be like, you know what? I need a bow for my ponytail. Overkill. Overkill. And apparently there's like a fucking cat down here that's just staring at him. Dude was a creep. Dude was a creep. But this fucking hammer. I mean, I gotta think that's bigger than most dicks that I've seen. I also kind of played college basketball, so that's an absolute lie. But the biggest white dick I've ever seen, ever. Close, pretty close. And this guy has a fucking, he's got a chin on him. But you know what? Let's not do the bow tie. Overkill. We're not looking back here. We're looking at the front because you have a dick for a nose. That shit's crazy. His nose was 7.5 inches long. I'm for it. I am for it. Thomas Wadhouse. It's a good name. He's walking around with a big swangly fucking nose. But he's got a fucking missile in his pants. A circus performer. Back in the day, like, okay. Maybe you got a hairy back, Wolfman. Nope. Daryl texted me. More bourbon. Okay. Back in the day. Maybe you're a girl and you grow a little facial hair. It's fine. Bearded woman. Lots of money in that. This dude, there's no line on that. This guy has a fucking dick for a nose. And a fucking, like, legit dick. Like, I'm pissing next to this guy. And I see his nose. I'm looking down. It'd be really fucked up if he had, like, nothing downstairs. But for real, like, party's in the front. We don't need the bow tie in the back. We don't need it. I'm live by myself. Daryl ran into a train of bourbon, and I'm just talking. I have things I want to share with you guys. Oh, this lady, adorable. She was a teacher, and the entire day of her going to school, these kids kept saying, this one kid has a gun. The whole day. But nobody, like, principal wise, like, wanted to say anything about it. So this 6-year-old took a gun out of his backpack and shot her. And I was going to ask Daryl, she got $10 million. So, like, knowing the outcome, $10 million. Knowing you're not going to die. It's kind of fair, right? Would you do it? Probably. Also, like, Daryl keeps texting me. Also, like, how the hell does number one, 6-year-old have access to a gun? Number two, how does a school system, like, have all these red flags where, hey, this kid has a fucking gun, and then this kid pulls it out, shoots a teacher? $10 million. Would I get shot for $10 million? Good question, internet. It depends where. Like, shoulder, fine. They're big as fuck. Face, no. Dick, fine. Leg, yeah, cool. But yeah, no, she got shot, and she gets $10 million. She was probably making fucking 30 grand a year, dealing with all the bullshits that like teachers deal with. And one day she got shot and she gets 10 million bucks. Good on you, girl. Who the hell's watching me right now? What else we got? Mm. I saw this and it was kind of funny. I think more women should talk about their issues. This is, I believe, a Russian girl talking about diarrhea.
You wake up in the morning and you don't have a diarrhea, and you know it's a good start. Then you go and sit in a dark room and think about your life choices, and you can do it uninterruptedly because today you don't have a diarrhea. Then
every day's great when you don't have diarrhea. Everything's great.
Then you go to the kitchen and manage your depression by drinking some vodka and some borscht, hoping that you won't get diarrhea. And at night you go and watch a depressing movie that's gonna reinforce your beliefs about life, that we're all doomed and we're all gonna die.
Not the brightest angel in the room, right? But she's kind of hot. She's got that hair fold for it. Eyes wise, you don't see all the white. Cool. And all she talks about is shitting. I'm for it.
That's my perfect day. Repeat. Hope you don't have a diarrhea. Perfect day is...
Yeah. I mean, my perfect day is kind of having diarrhea. You wake up, you have diarrhea. You have coffee, you have diarrhea. What's up? It's fine. We talked about Mandami a lot. This is kind of weird. I'm actually for Mandami or Mandami or whatever. Hey, bud. London, I'm by myself, so I wish you could jump in. I'm kind of for this guy winning the mayoral election in New York City. I'm for it. Because every now and then you need socialism to come into the fold, and then you need to be able to prove that socialism doesn't really work. But also, United States politics, fucked. Oh, buddy. Well, I love you anyways. Politics are fucked. Every politician, no matter how pure, AOC, whoever the fuck on the other side, they're all bought and paid for it. All of them. They're all bought, all paid for. So it's kind of enlightening when you see this big movement and you see these people like Mandami win. The issue is that socialism has never worked ever, 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 because socialism is funded by heavy taxation. Just the way it is. And sooner or later, unless you have a full control of everybody that can stay or leave, the people that get tired of paying all the money, they end up leaving. It's just the way it is. And it's their right, especially in America. We're not Cuba. I also have a thing too, like all this like Middle Eastern like narrative. So there were women after Mandami won saying that Sharia law starts now. Last time I checked, Sharia law is not really favorable to women. I get the socialist stuff. I get it. It's fine. Especially in New York City. Oh, Adam. Hello, friend. Where's Malibu's Most Wanted? He got too drunk on bourbon. So he is sitting this one out. I've never done a podcast by myself like this. I have no shirt on. My titties are out. But yeah, so with the Mondami stuff, like I get socialism. I get it. It's very appealing. Does it ever work? No. It's like a cult. I have a farm. I invite people to live on my farm. We all pool in and it's all fine. But if I'm the leader, I'm going to end up wanting to have sex with everybody. Guys, girls, maybe a goat that gives me the eyes. It's just the way it is. It's all corruptible, right? So in the history of the world, socialism has never worked. It's never worked. But I get the appeal. Wait a minute. I can do the bare minimum and be able to live here. I just don't see how it's going to work in New York City. I just don't. I think it's cool. I do think that every few years, somebody like this needs to come out of the fold and fucking win. And then when it doesn't go well, it turns into a pile of shit, as we all expect it to be. Like, there's not going to be free buses. There's not going to be government-funded grocery stores. It's not going to work. It can't. Because the more that you take from the people that pay all the money in, the more those people want to leave. And they have the free reign to go and leave. It's just the way it is. I didn't make that up. But I did see this. Not the girl talking about diarrhea. Yeah. So this is Mandame. Guy's got a killer name, though. And he's likable.
State's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, that would raise $5 billion. This would only impact the most profitable corporations.
Just wait for it. Wait for the big one.
Ones that are making millions of dollars in profits. The second is to increase... please.
You're sure they're not going to leave it? Y esas compañías no se van a ir de Nueva York. They're not going to leave New York.
Are you sure they're not going to leave New York? They're going to hear all about all these policies and they're like...
The difference of leaving New York as a business and going to New Jersey is literally 8 minutes. Now we get it that New York is this big bastion of commerce and success and big buildings and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, New York does give a lot of subsidies to companies that have employees there that go out and drink, go out and eat, live there, pay rent there. There's a lot of subsidies. Like, New York is almost a socialist economy. It is. The big dogs pay for all the little dogs through subsidies. It's just the way it is. And I'm not an economist. I'm a fucking moron. But to me, it just seems like you can't rock the boat too much. And also, a mayor of New York isn't really going to be able to rock the boat. He can overpromise. And then through overpromising, he can say, well, we just didn't get there. Or there was all these blockades in places that didn't allow us to get to where we wanted to be. That's fine. I just think that this guy ran on hoop dreams and he's not going to do much. But his failsafe is to fall back on the fact that, well, the bureaucracy is always in place and I can't do what I wanted to do.
So I'm out. I'm not paying this. Watch this.
The way that this tax works is it applies to any business doing business here. They could be located in Miami, but if they're doing business in New York, it applies to them.
This is going to fuck. First of all, this is not even practical. It's not practical. Can't happen. But if it was practical, New York City would be a dead zone. If you're going to overtax people that are doing business in New York, but they're not actually in New York City, you're going to die.
Whoa. So get that right, everybody. That's how he's going to get you. If you're doing business with New York, if you live in Miami and you're doing business in New York, they're going to get you and your taxes to pay for their boondoggle.
So the other thing I actually kind of support is, so let's say there's a mass exodus from New York City to Florida to Texas. And the fear is that you're going to open your floodgates, get a lot of people in. Florida real estate goes crazy, which is great. But then you have all the people that voted a certain way or wanted to vote a certain way, even not for Miami. And all of a sudden, Florida turns into not a blue or red state, but a mix of in between. That's really scary. And they're not going to do it. So there's a lot of people that are saying that Florida, if you're going to move your company to Florida, they're going to charge you 100% tariff, which still probably would be cost effective to move to Florida as a company. But it is insane. It is crazy. And this guy's just the mayor. Like, I know mayors. They have the best intentions, but they still don't get anything done. The whole process of politics is fucking maddening to me. It's so stupid. Well, there's a mayor, but then there's a city council. And the city council affects how the mayor is. And then there's a judicial committee. And it's like, it's this box of bullshit that nothing ever gets done. They all run on hope. And I think Mandami, the reason he won, allegedly without multiple people voting 1,000 times over, I don't think that what he ran on was a bad thing. New York City should be affordable, but it's not. Oh, Daryl, he texted me. But should New York City be affordable? New York City is like the place of dreamers, and you want to move there and you want to be part of the movement and just walk around the streets. And there's guys with cell phones and women with cell phones and briefcases and all the shit. And they're going to places, and they're making the whole world happen. Well, if you overtax all those people with all the briefcases, all the cell phones, and all the shit. Sooner or later, they can't be there anymore. So where does the money go? It starts here, obviously, and it should. The supreme rich, sure. But a lot of the landowners in New York City are not in New York City. A lot of landowners in New York City are foreign investors that have bought buildings. They have apartments that are not lived in. And so let's say their taxes go up. You're going to see a real estate boom in New York City for people wanting to get out, just to get out from under this cloud of taxation. It's insane. The New York Stock Exchange, which is, I think, based in Chicago, but they put in papers to go to Dallas. The New York Stock Exchange. You're still going to have day traders in New York. Fine. But they're all looking for the tax break of not having to be in New York. And it's happening. That is crazy to me. John Lennon said, if I was in Rome, among Roman times, I would be in Rome. Rome was the center of the universe. And New York City is the center of the universe. That's why I'm here. That's dead now. It's dead. Which is kind of sad to me. You know, you like turn on Big and 80s New York City was like porn shops and fucking good bagel, good slice of pizza, but it was just horrible. And then commerce came in and commerce cleaned it up. Now, a guy from the 80s might say that New York City was better before all this shit came in. Times Square used to be porno shops and fucking pizza shops. And now it's not. Now it's tourists. But the last time I checked, tourists pay a lot of fucking money. And when all the people don't go to New York City, don't go to Times Square anymore because all those companies bailed out, that gets a little sketchy. Just a little. I'm sure that, I mean, New York City is always going to be fucking awesome. It's always going to be New York City. But when you have people climbing fucking flagpoles and tearing down the American flag, come on. What are we doing? Last time I checked, it was okay to like America. It's okay to take your hat off when they're singing the national anthem. It's okay. All the people in sports that talk about oppression and all, they're paid a crazy wage to play a game. And I'm not going to go like far off base and say that the United States has never done anything really shitty. We're awesome at doing shitty shit. We're awesome at it. We're going to give you a loan that you can never pay back. And this is true. In Saudi Arabia, let's just say, you could never pay this loan back. But the people that you can contract are only going to be American companies. So then the work never gets done. And then you know what the caveat to our agreement was? We can have a military base in your spot. That's shitty. But at what time in history did a country do shitty shit to not benefit the actual country that they represent? This is the first time in my life where you can see an uprising. I mean, look at fucking England. England is maybe 25 or 30 years away from the people in England, their actual ancestry, not being 100% English or Irish. In Minnesota, people are getting woken up at 5 in the morning. Maybe Catholics. I'm not religious one bit, but Catholics are getting woken up for a Muslim call to prayer. And I haven't I like some of the Muslim stuff. Like the guy's the leader, chicks, maybe they walk a couple paces behind us. It's fine. But in America, to me, that's not really American. To me, I think if you come to this country seeking asylum, seeking a better life, to me, it should be open arms. But you should adopt the things that made America great. Not to sound like Trump, but you should adopt the principles upon which this country was founded. And it's not anymore. There's guys, there's people running for mayor in Dearborn, Michigan that only spoke Islamic. How is that an American ideal? It's not. It's not. I remember my sister is an amazing singer, and she's been that way since like 4 years old. And we had a flag day at our elementary school, and they picked my sister, maybe third grade, maybe, to sing the national anthem. I sat next to my dad and watched my sister sing the national anthem and watched my dad cry. And as a parent, man, anytime your kids do anything good, you just well up. But my dad served in the military. His father served in the military. His grandfather served in the military. And there was this idea that America was something. And it just seems recently, not to sound like an old white guy, it just seems recently that we're so okay with people that have been harmed around the world, refugees, whatever. We're going to give them the red carpet instead of saying earn it. Earn the ability to be American. It started a long time ago too. Like the press two to speak fucking to hear Spanish, whatever. But I'm fine with that. Soccer fucking rules. But holy shit. The fact that people in Michigan get woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a call to prayer for Islam. Maybe we're fucking missing the mark a little bit. Maybe. It just seems a little weird to me. But again, if you come to this country legally, and you're Islamic, and at noon you hear church bells, maybe that's not fair either. I'm willing to see both sides of the street, but to me, it just seems like certain cities in our country are being overrun by people that fleed another country, and they want to adopt the same principles of the country they fleed instead of adopt the same principles that gave them hope. And that to me is a little weird. A little weird. Hmm. It's rare where I go, God damn, dude, you're smart as fuck. But yeah, that was it. I, as a white guy, a cis white, whatever that means. I think cis means I like girls. Um, I just grew up with this amazing love for our country. And if you go other places in the world, like if I have friends that have gone to France, they've gone to Normandy, and they're cis white guys. The people of Normandy express so much love because without us, Normandy wouldn't be Normandy anymore. Normandy would be German. Without the muscle and the might and the fact that 5'7" people could land on the beach and walk across France and just do what the fuck they needed to do. Like, I just don't get how we're here now. I don't get it. I think it's cute for Mandami to win New York. I think it's cute because every now and then you need somebody to run on a socialist thing, and you need it to fail. Now, I hope he does well. I'm not a dick, but every now and then you need somebody to run on this platform that's going to say, we're going to make everything equitable. And then all of a sudden, you find out what equity really means. A doctor, a guy that's skilled, that has $500,000 in student loan debt, shouldn't make the same as the person that works at the coffee shop. It's not practical. It's not. I was like so excited to take my kids to New York City. We're going to do like the Home Alone 2 thing where you stay at a hotel and you order a limousine, you get the pizzas, and you go to FAO Schwartz or whatever the fuck it's called. And we're going to do all that shit. And now I'm scared to death in New York City. And it might be my own dumb white prejudice, but fuck, man. Like, there's literally people climbing on towers, ripping down the American flag. When my grandfather was in World War II, my great grandfather, World War I, my dad, my uncles, like, how the fuck do you have the balls as a person that was lucky enough to be born in America to support that shit? I just don't get it. I don't get it one bit. I get annoyed when people are at a ball game or whatever, and they don't stand up when it's the national anthem, or women when they have all this shit done, whatever, and they don't take their fucking hat off. Like, just, it's not about you. It's about all the people that came before you that allowed you to stand or sit or wherever in your spot. That contract was written in blood and sacrifice. There's kids that, after Pearl Harbor, forged their mom's signatures when they're 16 years old in rural America to go to Korea and to go to Germany, to go to France, and you have the fucking balls because of some weird ideology to climb a flagpole and tear the American flag down. That to me is fucking trash. No matter what you believe in. I have really good friends, people I love to death, and I will support them in any way I can. They believe that you can have a society that just is all good. You do this, I do that, a utopic fucking scenario. But holy fuck, it doesn't really work that way. And I love their ideals. I love their passion for it. But utopias don't exist. They just don't. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see. I don't know. Maybe it's like social media. Maybe it's fucking TikTok or whatever the fuck. But, or, the guy's a good looking guy, Mandami. He did kind of change his accent based on interviews. Suspect. But you know what? Man, if I'm around very liberal people and I'm middle of the road, I'll listen to them and I'll respond accordingly. But I'm not argumentative. But holy shit, it just seems kind of crazy to me that we can be in a spot where it's okay to climb a pole and then literally the day after that dude was elected, there was a terror attack that was quelled for people going against Jews in New York City. Well, if you lean so hard on the Muslim side of things, I don't know if you are a fan of history, but Muslims hate Jews. So, and also, if you don't know anything about New York, there's a lot of Jews. There's a lot of Jews. So, is it opening up violence against Jews now? I mean, we're 3 days in, and it seems kind of like it. Seems like it. For what? For a guy that's going to say that subways are free and the buses are free. And literally the next day after he got elected, let me find it. The next day, he goes on Instagram Live or something. And he's like, oh, hey, remember when I said stop donating? But now you need to donate. Because all this stuff, my staff, it's not going to be possible without you guys. All the people that ran in the streets and said, no kings, no kings, no kings. Last time I checked, and again, I'm a moron. Last time I checked, Republicans are for smaller government. Democrats are for bigger government. When's the last time you can think of where a government-run project actually went well or on budget? It never happens. It's all the no kings people. Trump's king, whatever. Now you're in New York City, you're giving your keys to the person that's going to say, no, big government's going to solve it. Big government has never solved anything ever. Ever. I did like this guy's take. And again, like the guy is a legit communist. It's fine. You can be whatever ist you want. But I'm telling you, socialism hasn't worked. Communism hasn't worked. It just hasn't. But I did like this guy's take.
In New York, Mandami, right? Okay, who's like a straight up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think
the guy has an obvious toupee, which I'm jealous of. Because if my hairline did that, fucking crushing it. But yeah, this is every now and then you need to have this uprising. And you need to fall exactly on its dick. This guy's right.
20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can.
So that's what New York City is going to be. The problem with doing it in New York City is that it's the Mecca of America. It's the bell tower. Everybody that wants to be somebody they gravitate towards New York City. The big companies, the actors, the Broadway, the comedians, like all that stuff. The bell tower is fucking New York. And now we're going to turn it into a free zone, which is fine. But the last time I checked, I don't know, the billionaires and millionaires in New York City pay 51 to 52% of the taxes. And when they leave, it's going to go down to the other people. And then when those people leave, it's going to go down to the other people. And then sooner or later, you're not going to have any other pot to pull money out of. You're not going to have it. Which is like baseline economics. And I'm a fucking moron. I can't do long division. But to me, choosing New York City by hook, by crook, whatever the fuck, choosing New York City to be the experiment is fucking terrifying. And even Governor Hochul has said, we're not going to fund a lot of the Mandami's policies. So you have a guy that ran on free. You pay too much, whatever. It's not cost of living, which is totally the Hitler fucking thing. Look at history. Germany after World War I had no money. There was a ruling class that had money. And then they became the bad people, the rich, or the Jews. And so they made the bad people the really bad people. Now, I'm not saying Mandami's going to fucking train out fucking people that make $1 million a year. But realistically, those people are going to be overtaxed to the point where they just leave. It's baseline economics. And I'm a fucking retard.
Crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
That's a great quote. Socialism has never worked. It will never work. And I think the quote that I love the most about the shit is, come on, you fucking cunt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you're fucked. You're fucked. We're all going to be like people asking for a handout. Or maybe you just bet on yourself. Do a good job. Find a trade. Become somebody that can actually contribute to society. And maybe you etch out your little area in the universe. Maybe that's it. It's not hard. It's really hard to go and bet for yourself when you're so used to getting handouts. And to me, that's what socialism and communism all is. It's Jim Jones. It's no, we're all in together, but there's one guy in power. Fuck that. You guys want no kings? New York City just voted a guy into mayor that is saying, if you follow my rule, you're going to have all these things. Until there's no bread, until there's no soup, until you got to pay for the bus and pay for the subway. And there's no money because the guy also said numerous times he wants to defund the police, which he has since retracted. But you're so fucked. A guy that goes, well, we're going to have all these things free, but we're going to reduce the money that goes into the police. I mean, last time I checked, and again, this thing just came out for DC, when DC had, over the last, 30 days in DC, murder rates have dropped 60% in DC because of the National Guard presence. So in New York City, you're going to remove or defund or whatever, make it harder for police to do their job. And believe me, I'm not a fan of the police. I'm not. I respect police officers. I respect people in the military. However, I got my own goddamn problems with them. But I'm telling you right now, like, it's going to be a fucking war zone in the Mecca of America, the bell tower of America. It just doesn't make sense. And I would love for someone to just pop in this chat and just be, hey, no, it's going to work this way because of this. Fine. But the last time I checked, most people don't want to work for fucking shit. They don't want to try. It's easier to sit on your ass and get paid a stipend than to actually go after it. And that's what socialism is. That's what communism is. Until you got to fucking take your chairs apart and put them in a fireplace to keep warm. It's never worked. this fucking guy runs as a socialist / communist in New York City, and he wins. Go back and look at history. Look at Hitler's call to the German people to fight against the same fucking thing. The same thing. God damn. Stupid people. You know, Kamala Harris just went on the TV the other day. She's like, no, I think we should lower the voting age to 16. You know why? Because 16-year-olds to 18-year-olds have been given everything by their parents by trying hard. Maybe most, whatever. But you're going to let a 16-year-old vote on America when they haven't had a job? When they haven't like looked at their taxes? And I had to write a check last March 13th to, I think, Illinois for $100,000. I had to write a $100,000 check. And then to the government, I'd write a $46,000 check. I'm 46 years old. You're telling me right now that a kid that scoops ice cream into a cone and serves it to somebody else is going to look at their paycheck and be like, you know what? I should vote. Fuck that. I was an idiot. I'm still an idiot, but I was an idiot when I was 16. There's no utopias anymore. It doesn't exist. It's not possible. There's too many people. But holy fuck. I can't believe that people are falling for this shit. I can't believe it. It's good in theory. Sure. Well, the military budget is this. Look at how much money. So I did this on ChatGPT. So low end to buy all of Ukraine. Okay. Low end to buy Ukraine with all the debt, all the land, all the assets, everything, right? Low end was between 230 and $250 billion to buy and own Ukraine. We sent just about that much money with our tax money. Like nobody contacted me and said, hey man, so of the $146,000 you wrote to state and federal, and also I pay myself as an employee, and also I pay quarterly taxes. So of all that money, how much do you want to have to go to Ukraine? They didn't give me that. They just said, cool, thanks for the money. And the United States sent Ukraine, let's say low estimate, $160 billion. That is like 3/4 of the amount it would cost to buy Ukraine. Come on, man. We're fucked. So we're so cool with like everyone put their social profiles for fucking Ukraine. But nobody wants to care about the money that they're taking from us, the people, and spending it flippantly. Come on. Stupid. I think New York City, you're going to see a mass exodus of businesses, of people. I think the real estate market in New York City is going to crash, as it should. And sure, it's going to be affordable. A lot of people leave. Housing markets go down. We all get it. But there's still not going to be enough money that the average person that lives in New York City to go buy that shit. You're fucked. And honestly, like a mayor doesn't do anything. It's just this fraudulent attempt to get people to buy into an ideology, I guess, that in the end will do nothing. Except like a mayor could choose to say, well, we're going to go do this. And we're going to fund that. Or maybe this stop and frisk thing that was pretty popular back in the day with Giuliani. Like finding a guy, stop and frisk, with a gun, and he's got priors, and he's got warrants, and he goes to jail. That's good for the society. And now you guys elected a fucking communist. God bless you. To me, it seems absolutely retarded. All right, I'm out. God bless New York City. The fact that this guy said his mom or his aunt couldn't ride the subway after 9/11 because of her hijab, and she's seen on the internet never wearing a hijab, maybe should tell you something. Maybe we're just preying on people's emotions of being the underdogs. I just think it's foolish. But you know what? I live in a state that, like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and give you $500 million to this shitty farming community. And you should be thankful for that. But they're taking billions of our dollars in taxes, billions across the entire state, funneling it to Chicago. And Chicago is still bankrupt. That should tell you everything you need to know. Good luck, New York City.